There was sparks going everywhere, bits flying all over the place. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Well, that's YouTube. Well, you delivered the subs from the last video. Result, thanks. And they did. Good morning. It is a great day here in Bangkok, but I kind of like it like that. It's way better for exploring. And I'm just here at the Area 53 cafe here on the Klong San Seep River. And if you've not checked out my previous video about the Klong San Seep River, you're missing out, because it was honestly one of my favorite videos to make, because there's so much to see and do here and explore and just, check it out if you haven't already. Now, real quick, before I jump into today's video, I want to say a huge thanks to everyone who jumped across from Adam's channel and basically bombarded me with comments of just love and support, and obviously subscribe to the channel as well. So welcome you guys to the channel. I really appreciate it, seriously. So the topic of today's video is that Bangkok is dangerous. Well, there's this misconception that it's dangerous anyway. Before I moved here, I had so many people commenting, like nearly 100% of the people I spoke to about moving to Bangkok said, oh, but it's dangerous in Bangkok, right? And I can't work out why they get this perception, who's told them that, where this myth has come from. Because if you watch the previous video that I done and Keys One and Adam done, you'll see that the communities here are nothing but nice, nothing but welcoming. Not a single second of danger or do I feel uncomfortable in any of the communities here. Now I'm going to give you 5 things today that I think are dangerous here in Bangkok, because the communities and the people, they're just not. You have to get over it and have to accept that there's certain things here that are just not dangerous. Unlike this wall that's got glass all along the top of it. But the wall didn't make the list, although it probably should have. So let's move on to number 1, the first thing, the main thing that I think is danger here in Bangkok, and that is the traffic. The cars, the bikes, the motor taxis, the tuk-tuks. There is so much going on all at one time in the city. It is lawless chaos all the time, 24 hours a day. It feeds the city constantly, so you have to be so aware of what's going on around you. It doesn't even matter if you're walking on the path or down some alleyway somewhere, the motorbikes will still be going down there doing deliveries or finding shortcuts. You have to be so careful with what you're doing. But then on the flip side, Bangkok's got one of the best transport systems in the world, with the BTS going above all that traffic and the MRT going below. So it's entirely up to you how you get around the city, because there are so many options there for you, but you do have to be so careful with the traffic here in Bangkok. I tried recording this only the other day, and like while I was recording it, somebody had an accident right in front of me. But yeah, number 1 is definitely going to be roads and traffic here in Bangkok. On the flip side, in nearly every single building, you've got these guys. You've got 3 guys here directing traffic so they can safely join the main road here. So it's as dangerous as it is, they are really, really trying their best to make it all flow together. So you've got these crossings, for example. As you approach them, you think, right, here's the zebra crossing. No, absolutely no chance. I reckon number 1 should be YouTubers, because we're pretty stupid, to be fair. Just been honest. You guys are what, probably about 5 minutes. Oh, I told you I was stupid. So I need a bit of background and to not get stabbed by trees while I'm walking around as well. That would be useful. Birds singing, lizards jumping in the hedge, fish jumping around in there. I don't know how the fish are alive in there, I've got no idea. But there's a butterfly flying around me right now, there's some there. But speaking of animals, this is number 2. And number 2 is soy dogs. And oh man, I don't care if you love animals, you love dogs, you think that dogs love you, just don't touch them. You'll mostly see them at like 7-Elevens, they hang around the front door, maybe they like the aircon or the free food, or I don't know what it is, but just don't go near them. If they've got no collar on, just don't chance it, seriously. And if well, you can probably hear him actually. There's a soy dog in front of me on the path, kicking off because I'm walking towards him. So you got to be so careful. He's walking away. Most of them are normally scared of you. Hello, buddy. He's got colour on. He's someone's pet, but this one's actually a soy dog in front. I'll show you now. Come on. Come on. Come on. No. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? Do not go near them. And mind your ankles when you're walking away as well. That's how close it gets. Soy dogs, don't go near them. And if there's more than one, then you'll kick all of them off at the same time, and you just don't do it, seriously. It's just gonna be a bad time for you, trust me, and it will ruin your holiday. Not only will it ruin your holiday, it'll probably take your bloody hand off. Just walk around them, the other side of the road. All right, let's move on to number 3. So number 3 is going to keep you constantly looking down like this when you're walking, because Bangkok, I have to avoid stuff while I'm telling you this. Bangkok's walkways, or lack of walkways, are littered with stuff to avoid, including this, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it's literally like a hopscotch assault course to work your way through and around and down the curbs. Like, oh, come on, look. There's like stuff everywhere. You walking on the actual walkway is the least of the priorities here in Bangkok, and you have to be so careful because there's potholes and street lamps and electric cables, and there's everything in the way to stop you getting where you need to go. Just like this. Bangkok is not wheelchair friendly. How are you supposed to get around that without going in the road? And even if it's not just street furniture like lampposts or electric cables or barbed wire, it'll probably be some sort of restaurant of some kind that you have to walk around to get through. Well, walk in the road, but I'm not going to complain about the street food, that's for sure. They can have that. So number 4, while you're looking down trying to look at where you're walking, you're going to run into these guys at some point. And I'm not even going to demonstrate walking into them because seriously, they're absolutely lethal. And that is the power cables here in Thailand, and especially Bangkok. Now, don't get me wrong, they are trying to tidy up the city and put them all underground, and another part of me will actually miss the cables here in Bangkok. It adds to the charm, it adds to the soul of Bangkok, and you know, everyone recognises it when they come here in the city and they see the cables and they've not seen them for a long time, or like even when it's the first time you see the cables, you're just like, wow, you're just like, what is going on? Like that's the craziness. That's what makes Bangkok Bangkok. And another thing to mention with these power cables is the junction boxes. They've got like little junction boxes on like the corner of the street sometimes, and they actually explode. I've witnessed it once. It scared the absolute crap out of me. I thought it was like some kind of attack going on. I didn't know what was happening, but there was sparks going everywhere, bits flying all over the place. Yeah, when these things go, they go boom. So yeah, you don't want to be underneath one of them when that happens. Okay, let's talk about number 5, and it's by far the most dangerous here in Bangkok, in the whole of Thailand, even the world in fact, and that is having a Thai girlfriend. Okay, fine, look, I couldn't think of a 5th one, not an adequate 5th one that's actually going to cause you some sort of physical damage or danger to your life. Trust me, if you have a Thai girlfriend and things go wrong, you will be in a world of hurt. Okay, look, I genuinely couldn't think of a 5th one to put on the list. And this video is not to show that Bangkok is dangerous. I think you can see, like, the whole point is that it's not dangerous. And I'm struggling to find things that I actually think you should be worried about or concerned about here in the city. Granted, the roads are dangerous, and I do agree with that. But everything else on my list, I really don't think it's a problem. Like I said at the beginning of this video, Bangkok allows for a certain level of common sense. Like me walking like this, I'm having to navigate all this and the stuff on the floor. I'm using my common sense by walking slowly and just keeping an eye out on what's going on. If you can do the same, you'll be perfectly fine, and all of these dangers won't be a problem for you whatsoever. So I'm going to finish this video with what I think is the safest thing in Bangkok, and not only Bangkok, but all of Thailand. How many times have I said Bangkok in this video, by the way? But yeah, honestly, so the safest thing is the people. Seriously, a little bit of respect goes a long way, and the people here really are special. They're happy to share their food, their drink, their experiences. They're happy to talk to you when they've never met you before. If you approach them with a smile on your face and say "Swadee Cub," you know, and just be a tiny little bit respectful, seriously, it goes so far here in this country. Hopefully you can see that this country, this city, is not dangerous at all. Okay, that's it for me, guys. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and I'll catch you on the next video.